Mall Santas. What's the sweetest thing a kid has ever asked for? This little girl, maybe 6 years old, climbed onto my lap last December. She had this serious expression, like she was carrying the weight of the world. "Santa," she whispered, "can you help my daddy stop being sad?" My heart sank. I asked her what she meant. She explained that her daddy used to laugh all the time, but now he just sits on the couch staring at nothing. He stopped reading her bedtime stories. He forgot to put up Christmas lights. She said he cries when he thinks she's not looking. I gently asked if Mommy was around. She shook her head. "Mommy went to heaven last year. Daddy says it's not my fault, but I think it is." The grief in this child's eyes was devastating. She wasn't asking for toys or games. She wanted her father back. She told me she tried making him breakfast once, but burned the toast. She drew him pictures every day, but he just put them in a drawer without looking. I told her Santa would see what he could do, gave her a candy cane, and she walked back to a man sitting alone on a bench. He looked hollow, completely checked out. His clothes were wrinkled, like he'd been wearing them for days. His hands shook slightly as he watched other families laugh together. I noticed him checking his phone constantly, then putting it away with a frustrated sigh. The little girl kept touching his arm, trying to get his attention, but he barely responded. She showed him the candy cane I gave her, and he managed a weak smile that didn't reach his eyes. Other kids started lining up. A boy with a missing front tooth wanted a remote control car. Twin sisters argued about whether Santa was real. A teenager reluctantly sat down because her little brother insisted. Each interaction felt routine until something shifted. 20 minutes later, a boy about her age sat on my lap. He was fidgeting nervously, kept looking over at the little girl. He said he wanted to give someone his PlayStation for Christmas. "Who?" I asked. He pointed to the same little girl. "She sits alone at lunch every day. Kids whisper about her mom being dead. Yesterday she cried during recess because someone said her mom wasn't coming back. I want to give her my PlayStation so she can play games instead of being sad." I was stunned. This boy was willing to sacrifice his most prized possession for a classmate he barely knew. He explained that his own parents fought a lot, so he understood what it felt like when home wasn't happy anymore. He said he'd been saving his allowance to buy her something, but kids at school were mean about her clothes being old. I watched as he glanced back at his own parents, who were arguing quietly by the food court. His face fell slightly, but he turned back to me with determination. "She needs it more than I do," he said simply. The boy's father suddenly appeared behind us, having overheard the conversation. His expression transformed from irritation to amazement. His wife joined them, her face softening as she realized what their son was proposing. That's when I had an idea. Something about these two broken families called to me. I called both families over, my voice catching as I explained the situation to the grieving father. His eyes filled with tears as he realized his daughter was worried about him. The boy's parents stopped arguing and listened in amazement as I described their son's incredible generosity. The boy's parents were so moved by their son's kindness that they bought the girl her own PlayStation, but more importantly, the two families connected. The father knelt down and really looked at his daughter for the first time in months. The boy's parents realized their fighting was affecting their son more than they knew. 6 months later, I got a wedding invitation. Sometimes the sweetest Christmas wishes come true in unexpected ways, healing more hearts than you ever imagined possible.